Touting some of the biggest numbers of any shooter, MAG enlists up to 256 players into enormous war zones where every shot fired and bomb dropped is caused by a real person. It's impressive in theory, but does it deliver massive fun or just major headaches?
They planted charges at the bunker.
MAG is purely an online multiplayer experience. There's no hack-together single-player campaign and no AI to pad out the ranks. Just you and up to 255 other people. You begin by choosing which private military corporation to enlist in, Valor, Sever, or Raven. Each group has a different vibe, distinct weaponry, and unique maps to defend. It's a big commitment, as you can't change factions until your character reaches level 60, and you can't create a separate character on the same PSN account. Having multiple characters would be nice, but the result of this strict arrangement is that players develop a greater sense of team pride that's just as strong as any fanboy war.
Yes, motherfucker. And I ain't letting nobody come save your ass.
MAG requires a serious investment of your time in order to get to know the game. At first, your only option is the 64-player deathmatch mode, Suppression, which is considered training for your team. As your experience increases, you're able to engage against other PMCs in larger battles, gaining access to full 256-player games after level 8. Similarly, you can't take on a leadership role until you're level 15, with your success in each mission afterwards determining how quickly you can take on greater responsibilities.
Destroy that bunker.
Instead of requiring you to choose from specific classes with different abilities, MAG simply identifies your specialization based on your behavior. For instance, if you spend more time healing allies and repairing defenses, you're going to be recognized as field support. However, everyone has access to the same skill trees, which allows you to spend points to upgrade weapons, unlock new gear, or gain passive abilities. Paying attention to your specialization can keep you from wasting skill points on things you'll never use, but you can respec your character from time to time too. You can also earn ribbons and medals based on your performance, but stat tracking bugs can keep them from appearing in your profile after you've unlocked them. MAG has 4 distinct modes of play. Suppression is stock team deathmatch, Sabotage requires a 32-player team to capture 2 points simultaneously and then proceed to a third. An acquisition game with 128 players involves attackers infiltrating a base and escaping with 2 of the defender's experimental vehicles. And finally, Domination brings together 256 players, with the attackers given half an hour to disable infrastructure, capture internal positions, and inflict massive damage on enemy territory.
UAV inbound and on target. We've destroyed the gate.
There are only 3 maps per mode, each corresponding to one of the PMCs. This means that Valor will always be defending the Valor map and attacking Sever and Raven. The way it's set up makes sense, but results in a lack of variety overall. Since suppression matches only happen within your team, you'll never see the maps for the other 2 factions. Also, while there are some stat tracking algorithms that determine which maps you fight on, our Valor character rarely saw action in Raven's Domination map. The upside is that maps are appropriately gigantic, which means you'll have to play on each quite a few times before you've seen it all.
We've destroyed the mortar battery.
MAG is all about teamwork and moving forward with a purpose. The number of kills you rack up won't matter if your squad isn't gaining ground, and you have to be very deliberate with each action. You have to equip grenades before you throw them, watch for friendly fire, and use a recharging health kit if you intend to heal yourself or revive fallen allies. As a general soldier, you won't be privy to the full scope of the battle, but knowing your role in tackling objectives has a vital impact on your team's success.
We've got C4 on the bunker.
What makes the game manageable with so many people is MAG's command structure, with leaders over squads of 8 platoons of 32, all taking orders from a single officer in charge. Squad leaders can tag key objectives to provide direction for soldiers, rewarding them with extra experience. Leaders passively provide buffs like faster reloads and longer bleedouts to nearby squad members, and can also call in mortar fire or airstrikes, with more advanced abilities reserved for higher-level officers.
Bombers are a go and on target.
There's quite a bit of downtime in MAG. Initial spawn points are far from the battlefield, and you can spend a minute or 2 crossing the terrain just to be shot down by an unseen enemy. To keep squads together, respawns are set to occur at regular intervals, so you may find yourself waiting 20 seconds to get back in action. Plus, if you're down but not out, your best option is usually to wait on the ground bleeding until a medic comes to revive you. Although you can still serve your team by calling out enemy positions.
Somebody, hey, they're back to the corner, bro.
If you're on offense, it's incredibly satisfying to dismantle an enemy base piece by piece. You'll destroy roadblocks to move APCs forward, take out bunkers that serve as spawn points, and blow up anti-air batteries to let your own team spawn deeper in enemy territory with helicopters and parachutes. The defending team has to protect these positions at all costs and send in engineers to repair them as quickly as possible.
They've captured one of our transports. Destroy it.
The advantage always lies with the defense, but there are some balancing issues, as Sever's territory is heavily weighted in their favor. Their acquisition map in particular is a solid row of heavy turrets with little room to flank. A well-coordinated team can succeed, but an attack against Sever is often completely demoralizing as you struggle just to make it past the front lines. When it comes down to it, your enjoyment of MAG depends heavily on your team. It can be a nightmare if medics revive you in the line of fire or if your squad fails to take cover from an exploding bunker. However, if you're communicating and advancing, there's a sense of coordination that few other games can truly provide. With all it has going on, it should come as no surprise that MAG isn't particularly stunning from a visual perspective. The themed environments for each PMC do look fairly good, but animations are stiff and the frame rate can get choppy at times. Music is used sparingly to highlight accomplishments on the battlefield, and the constant barrage of explosions gives you a clue to just how many people are blindly chucking grenades. Amazingly, lag is very rare in the game, but there are glitchy bodies that get stuck upright or float ghost-like above the ground.
Burn on power.
MAG places a strong emphasis on teamwork with an intelligent command structure that brings order to battles of enormous scale. It could use more map variety, better balancing, and ways to decrease player downtime, but overall, it's a strong foundation for an ambitious new franchise.